in this article we are trying to derive an expression for the electric potential due to an electric dipole. So here is the situation. We are taking an electric dipole AB of length 2L having charges plus Q and minus Q. We take some point P, any arbitrary point P, we derive the general expression for the electric potential at point P due to this electric dipole. So this point P is under the electric field of the charge plus Q of the dipole, and this point P is also under the influence of the electric field of this second charge minus Q at position B of the dipole. So we can write the expression for the electric potentials at point P due to this charge and electric potential at point P due to this charge, right? So from the diagram we see that V, for example, this is VA, the potential is VA, this is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into charge which is Q upon and the distance of the point P from here which is PA. From the general expression of electric potential we can write this expression. And VB, what is the potential at point P due to this charge, second charge which is minus Q of the dipole? It is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into minus Q because charge is negative, so we are keeping its sign, upon this distance of the point from this charge which is PB. So what is the net potential at point P as we have discussed in our last video? So therefore net potential, net electric potential V is given by VA plus VB. That simply gives us VA is here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q upon PA plus, or we can say minus, because it is plus here but it is minus here in VB, so we write it as minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q upon PB. So from here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught and Q, this comes out, so therefore we get the net potential V to be Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and inside we are left with 1 upon PA minus 1 upon PB. Now we have to find out PA and PB so that we can solve the expression for the electric potential. So for doing that, what we do, this is the center of the dipole, let it be for example O, and the position of the point P from the dipole or from the center of the dipole, let it be represented as R. This is the position of point P from the dipole, or simply we can say from the center of the dipole. We extend this PO line little further, just like this, and derive on this line, we derive the perpendiculars, draw the perpendiculars from point B and from point A. So these are the two perpendicular, let me call it M and this as N. So it is perpendicular here and this is also perpendicular here. Now we have two triangles ANO and then BMO. So this will be question number 1, for example. From triangle, let me take that one first, BMO. Let this angle is theta. This angle will also be theta because it is the opposite angle. Okay. So from that triangle, let me take cos theta. So this is equal to, why we have derived these perpendiculars AN and BN? Because in that case, this distance PB which we need to calculate here is very nearly equal to PM. In that case it becomes very nearly equal to PM. So now we have to find out PM, which will be very nearly equal to PB. So PM is nothing but it is PO minus minus MO. So whenever we subtract MO from PO, we are left with only PM, which is very nearly equal to PB. So is the case here. So that's why we have drawn perpendiculars here. So cos theta in this triangle BMO, it is equal to base upon hypotenuse. From here the base is OM and hypotenuse is BO, or we can say OB. So from here OM is simply equal to BO, which is L times cos theta. So therefore PB, which is very nearly equal to PM, is given by PO minus MO, which is equal to PO is R minus MO is L times cos theta. So this is the value we are going to use here, and so is the case with PA. So in finding PA, we have drawn perpendicular on the same line AN, so that PA is very nearly equal to PN. So for doing that, in this triangle we calculate ON. So from triangle ANO, cos theta, in the similar triangle cos theta is equal to, because the angle is same, so it is equal to base upon hypotenuse again, so it is ON upon AO. So that simply gives us ON to be equal to AO, which is L cos theta. So therefore PA, which is very nearly equal to PN, comes out to be PO plus ON. This is PO. If we add ON into it, it becomes equal to PN, which will be very nearly equal to PA. So will be equal to PO is R plus ON is L cos theta. So we substitute these two values here and make necessary calculation and get the result. So it is as simple. So let me write the further results here. So it is, so when we take these two values and substitute here, we get V to be equal to, therefore V equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 upon PA. So 1 upon PA is R plus L cos theta minus 1 upon PB, which is equal to R minus L cos theta. So PB is equal to, here PB is equal to R minus L cos theta. We substitute it here. Let us make some calculation and we get the result. So this is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught into, we take LCM, which is R square minus L square cos square theta, and in the numerator what we get, it is R minus L cos theta, and minus, it is R plus L cos theta. So this is the mathematically we are solving it. So it becomes, whenever minus sign is operated, it becomes minus R minus L cos theta. So minus R cancels out with R, and minus L cos theta and minus L cos theta means V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into this Q into minus 2L. It becomes minus 2L cos theta upon R square minus L square cos square theta. So this term Q into 2L, because it is just a magnitude, it has no sense of direction, so we can drop the minus sign here. So it is just Q into 2L. So Q into 2L, as we can recall, it is the electric dipole moment. So this is equal to Q into 2L. So in terms of magnitude, we can write it as V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. The net potential comes out to be P cos theta upon R square minus L square cos square theta. So this is the net potential due to an electric dipole at any point. Now we can take the special cases when point P is on the axial line or on the equatorial line. So net potential we have found V to be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into, it is P cos theta upon R square minus L square cos square theta. So case 1 is when P is at axial line of the dipole. In that case, theta will be equal to 0. If point P is on the axial line, theta comes out to be 0. So therefore V, the potential at axial line, becomes equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into, it becomes P cos 0. Cos 0 means 1, so it is simply P upon, and in the denominator it becomes cos square, which is 1, so it is R square minus L square. So this is the expression for the electric potential at the axial line at any point. And if dipole is of very short length, for short dipole, L is very small in comparison to R. So therefore we can drop L here. So therefore potential takes the form 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into P upon R square. So that is the expression for the potential on the axial line for the short L. And second case is when P is at equatorial line of the dipole, then theta is equal to 90 degree. That makes cos 90 to be 0, and hence therefore potential becomes equal to 0. So simply we can say that potential on the equatorial line of an electric dipole is always 0. We need not to do any work. That simply means that work done is 0. So that means we need not to do any work, right? The electric field due to positive and negative charges, they cancel out the effect of each other. So that the net work done is 0 and the electric potential comes out to be 0.